school spirit.
Plus, learning how to be tobacco-free. Stay tuned. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for August 30th, 2012. I'm Courtney Addison.
And I'm Judson Garner. Thank you for joining us this evening. On August 13th, Troy University became a tobacco-free campus, but quitting the habit might not be an easy task for some. Today, the Alabama Department of Public Health was on campus to help out. Felicia Payne has the story.
Troy students had the chance to speak with members of the Alabama Department of Public Health Thursday afternoon to find out ways to help them stop smoking and become tobacco-free.
We're here at Troy University today because we are part of the wellness program and initiative here at Troy University, just providing information and education to students and faculty who may have issues using tobacco and may would like to quit. And so we're here to discuss with them harmful effects of tobacco use and exposure to secondhand smoke, and to let them know what is available as far as tobacco cessation programs that is offered through public health.
The table set up in the Trojan Center had lots of information for students to look at, including models of a smoker's lung and the mouth of someone who uses smokeless tobacco.
There's over 7,000 chemicals found in tobacco use, and so what we're trying to let everyone know is, this is what you're exposing yourself and others around you to, and because of that, it can cause all types of cancers throughout the body.
Troy University became tobacco-free at the beginning of the semester as a way to promote the health and well-being of everyone on campus.
We encourage them to, they can access our website if they're wanting to know more about the tobacco program through the Alabama Department of Public Health. As far as the tobacco cessation program that we've discussed, that's www.alabamaquitnow.com.
Felicia Payne, Troy TrojanVision News.
Representatives from ADPH will be back on campus on Wednesday, September 26th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Trojan Center Food Court.
What do you want to do when you grow up? A common question asked to young people, but by the time someone gets to college, they will need to find an answer. Well, Troy University's Office of Career Services is helping students find their answers in a series of workshops. Amanda Smith has the story.
This is what you've been waiting for your whole life. You've moved out of your parents' house and now have total independence. But as many students already know, with all that freedom comes the responsibility of knowing what you're here for. That's why Troy campus held a career workshop on Wednesday to help students get a good start.
And I do these and encourage undeclareds to attend so that way they can see and be aware of all the majors that we have offered, the courses that are required if they choose to major in it, and potential career fields that are available to those majors.
Meade says it's important for students to meet with their advisor while planning their classes to be sure you don't get behind.
Definitely, first and foremost, meeting with their academic advisor, so that way if they have any questions or concerns on what classes to take, not sure what to take, that they are informed from the most informative source.
And as for students like Kevin Bozeman, he is taking steps to ensure that doesn't happen.
I'll get involved on campus, talk to my advisor, try and get an internship, try and, just learn about different, programs and steps I can take to get a job afterwards.
So you want to get involved on campus, but just don't know where to go. Well, come to Eldridge Hall and they'll tell you whatever you need to know.
Stop by Career Services and set up an appointment to meet with us with regards to anything.
So in between enjoying their newfound independence and experiencing the college life most students have always waited for, it might be a good idea to try and find a way to start off on the right track. Amanda Smith, Troy TrojanVision News.
The next workshop will be Wednesday at 3 o'clock in Trojan Center, room 119.
If you are a student who is interested in expressing yourself through fashion, well, there's a club for you on campus. Bree Sanders gives us a look.
It's that time of year again when students combine their individuality and creativity together to express their fashion sense. On Wednesday night, Locouture had its informational meeting to discuss membership intake as well as upcoming events.
We just inform people of what Locouture is about, not just about fashion, not just about modeling, but also building self-esteem, confidence, and as well as giving back through various community service projects.
During the meeting, students got a chance to ask questions, meet potential members, and practice their walks.
I hope they got a chance to see La Couture for who we are. We laughed, we joked, we had a good time. We were able to show them our personality. We were able to give them a chance to see us walk. I hope that they see that we're real humble, down-to-earth people, and that joining our organization will be amazing.
A former member of La Couture expresses how the fashion organization helps build his confidence.
It definitely helped my confidence, especially because I was a freshman and I was very nervous, and it broke me out my shell, got me to meet a lot of new people, but that was basically the biggest thing that I learned from La Couture.
There were also a few new faces at the meeting, and one student expressed what she would like to learn if she were to join the organization.
Confidence and a better sense of new style, because I'm more into old school, but I kind of want to lean towards the new, like you guys are doing.
La Couture will have auditions on Wednesday, September 5th at 6 p.m. in the Trojan Center ballrooms. Bree Sanders, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And again, if you would like to be a part of La Couture, it's not too late. Open tryouts are Wednesday, September 5th in the Trojan Center ballrooms. Well, Courtney, tomorrow, Troy students are encouraged to wear their cardinal.
That's right, Judson. And Rachel Scarborough gives us a preview of College Colors Day.
College campuses around the nation will show their school pride with the annual College Colors Day on Friday.
College Colors Day is a yearly event sponsored by the Higher Education Partnership in Montgomery, which lobbies for higher education and more funding for Troy University and the other 12 public universities in the state of Alabama. And it's a day just for us as Trojans to celebrate our Trojan pride by wearing cardinal as Troy's main color, and just the kickoff to college football season, just a full day of Trojan pride.
So why just wear a cardinal shirt?
The purpose of wearing cardinal is that here at Troy University, we are Troy University Trojans. And I believe that although we are in a state with other major football rivalries, the Troy University Athletic Department is a great athletic department and a world-class athletic department. It is important for us as Trojans to celebrate that rich history and culture by wearing cardinal Troy shirt, not black, silver, or white, or pink, or whatever, aqua. We're really encouraging cardinal because that is our main color here at Troy University, the cardinal red shirt.
A few weeks ago, Farrell, along with a few other SGA members, took a trip to Montgomery to see the governor sign the College Colors Day Declaration and took along a special guest.
We're very lucky to have T-Roy along with 2 Trojan cheerleaders there with Mr. and Mrs. Bentley to sign the proclamation at his mansion. It was a great affair. All 13 mascots for the 13 public universities in the state of Alabama were present along with the SGA officers from that institution.
Rachel Scarborough, Troy, TrojanVision News.
College Colors Day is a statewide celebration that traditionally falls on the Friday before the first weekend of college football.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Dothan, investigators looking for information in the theft of a Rosa Parks historical marker. Henry County Sheriff William Maddox says it is the second time his office has investigated the theft of the sign, which was located near an old farmhouse on Alabama Highway 10.
In Montgomery, a federal lawsuit that resulted in a $64 million jury verdict against the Victory Lane Casino in Macon County and its owner, Milton McGregor, has been settled. A joint statement by McGregor's attorney, Joe Espy, and the plaintiff's lawyer, Steve Heiniger, says the two sides have reached an agreement settling all issues and vacating the judgment.
And in Fort Deposit, a former police officer has been sentenced to 3 years and 1 month in prison for stealing money from motorists stopped on Interstate 65 in central Alabama. And still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the Trojan cross-country team is preparing for their first run of the season. Justin McNelly will have more for that in Us in Sports.
But first, Tropical Storm Isaac is pressing his way through the country, leaving a trail of damage behind. We'll have that story and more after the break.
Thousands more have been evacuated after a long night of rescues. I'm Karen Brown in Laplace, Louisiana, and coming up, we'll have more on the aftermath of Isaac.
I'm Sandra Fry. I'm a union bus driver, and I'm also a mom. During 17 years with Greyhound, I've covered over 2 million miles. My job is to safely bring families together. I love the open road, but I never forget that a drowsy or careless driver could be right around the next curve. Drunk driving is the deadliest of all. As a mom and as a bus driver, I have a message for you. If you drink, don't drive.
In 1887, it was written that we want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. And it's no different today than it was 125 years ago. Some things never change. The mission of this university is to prepare leaders who are going to go into the communities and make a difference. And I think it's within that culture of caring that excellence is found.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Courtney Addison at the Global News Desk. Courtney?
Thanks, Judson. Tropical Storm Isaac is weakening as it crawls from the Gulf states towards the heartland. But the storm has left a lot of damage in its wake and forced thousands from their homes. Karen Brown has the latest.
A flash flood emergency has been declared in Slidell, outside New Orleans. 50 people had to be rescued from their flooded homes yesterday. Today, entire neighborhoods are being evacuated. Storm surge is causing a bayou to overflow. Up to 5 feet of flooding is expected. In Plaquemines Parish, they were moving forward with cutting holes in a levee that overflowed, causing homes to flood to their rooftops. The holes will relieve the pressure and allow the water to drain back into the Mississippi and nearby marshes. 30 miles west of New Orleans in Laplace, entire subdivisions were evacuated when Isaac's floodwaters rushed in.
It's a real nightmare. This is a real nightmare.
The sudden tidal surge caught many people off guard.
Woke up, it was fine. Next minute, it was just like all over the place. We lost everything.
For many, the flooding came up in the pitch black darkness of a night without power. And now that the sun is up, many families like the Frasers here are having to go back in by boat. More than 3,000 people were evacuated from this area alone. The Frasers don't know what's left of their home.
That's all replaceable? They're not. That's all that matters.
In New Orleans, the rebuilt levee system held up, but power was knocked out to most of the city, and many people won't have electricity for several more days. Karen Brown, CBS News, Laplace, Louisiana.
Tonight is the grand finale in Tampa at the Republican convention as Mitt Romney accepts his party's presidential nomination. Randall Pinkston is there.
It's already billed as the most important speech of his life. When Mitt Romney steps up to accept the Republican Party's presidential nomination, he will be speaking to millions and selling himself as commander-in-chief.
This is obviously an important speech. It's going to dot every I and cross every T personally and make sure that it's a powerful speech that will communicate his vision for economic prosperity to the country.
Former Florida Governor Jeb Bush also speaks tonight. He says Romney needs to lay out a compelling alternative to the current administration.
I think most people know that we're in difficult times. What Mitt Romney now has the opportunity to do is to speak for a while about what it will be like when he's president and why it will be better.
Mitt Romney will use his speech tonight to try to connect with voters and show that he understands their concerns. Workers rebuilt the convention stage to bring him physically closer to delegates. Wednesday night, Romney watched with his grandchildren as his running mate accepted the party's vice presidential nomination. Congressman Paul Ryan used his speech to launch a scathing attack on President Obama's policies, everything from health care reform to economic stimulus.
The president is just throwing away money, and he's pretty experienced at that.
Romney's challenge will be to not only point blame at the current administration, but to lay out his own ideas and convince the country that they will work. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, Tampa, Florida.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, you can tune in to Troy TrojanVision Global News right after the nightly news. Now, back to you, Judson.
Thank you, Courtney. And now Justin McNally joins us for sports. So, Justin, that time's almost arrived. Football season's about to kick off.
That's right. The Trojan football team is making a trip up to Legion Field this weekend, and I'm sure most of us Troy fans remember what happened last time they were up there. But I'll get to that and more right here in sports.
All right.
After a 1-1 record from a weekend trip to South Carolina, the Trojan soccer team has been practicing hard all week for this weekend's Trojan Classic. The Trojans have not dropped a game in their own tournament since the first match of the 2010 tournament against Mississippi State. This year's field includes the teams of Stetson University, Louisiana Tech, and Jacksonville State University. These teams will travel to Troy on Friday to take part in the two-day tournament. The Trojans are looking to rebound from a 1-0 loss to Furman University, and Coach Chris Bentley is ready for his team to show how dangerous they can be.
I think we've identified that we're doing a good job defending collectively, but we need to do a better job putting pressure on the ball, and then once we win it, what we do with it. We're probably being a little bit careless with the ball right now, and if we can fix those little things, I think we're going to be pretty dangerous.
First kick for the Trojans is scheduled for 3 p.m. on Friday against Louisiana Tech. And after a disappointing weekend in Georgia, the Trojan volleyball team is hoping to put the past behind them as they travel to Martin, Tennessee to take place in the First State Skyhawk Invitational. With conference season fast approaching, the Trojans are hoping to get a few wins under their belt this weekend against some tough opponents. Head coach Sonny Kirkpatrick knows how big this weekend is for his team and their confidence moving forward.
For confidence reasons, this is a big weekend. You know, we need to get a little confidence going into our home match against Auburn next Tuesday. So it would be nice to get a couple of W's out of this weekend and move forward.
The Trojans tip off the tournament on Friday night against the host team of UT Martin. The game is set for 7 p.m. And the cross-country teams are preparing to make runs for not only the Sun Belt Championships, but also the National Championships this year. However, the road to the title starts right here in Troy. The Trojans will host the annual Troy Trojan Invitational on Friday. The men's side will start at 10 a.m. and will partake in an 8K run, while the women's side will start at 10:30 a.m. and will run the 5K. Leaders for both Trojan teams and last year's Trojan Invitational will be back this year as they hope to improve on their times. Junior Enoch Karui finished third last year with a time of 16 minutes and 13 seconds, while junior Morgan Paulsman, who finished last year just outside the top 10, hopes to improve her time of 11 minutes and 58 seconds. First-year head coach Jeff Jenkins knows how hard his team has worked and is happy with where they are.
We have some people that are looking at results from last year and looking at some practice logs that I didn't think they were going to be where they are now, but they put in a good summer of training and people are just ready to go and they're antsy and ready to race.
And as mentioned, the Invitational will begin at 10 a.m. on Friday with the men's 8K run. And the Trojan football team is heading up to Legion Field this weekend. For some of you Troy fans, this might be a little painful, but it's time to take a look back at the last time these teams met in Birmingham in this game's controversial end. Danielle Percival has the story.
This is for UAB to win it by 1. It's away, and it's good, and UAB wins it. A heartbreaker in the Magic City.
That point might have been the only one that seemed to matter, but it wasn't the play that stuck in everyone's mind. The play that received the most attention and criticism was this 44-yard Hail Mary pass from UAB quarterback Brian Ellis that was ruled a touchdown with no time remaining on the clock.
It was a tough ordeal to go through for me, for the players and coaches and our people. It was one of the toughest losses I've ever endured.
The Trojans punted and pinned the Blazers at their own 1-yard line with just over a minute remaining, but a few quick passes by UAB's offense set them up for a last-second Hail Mary pass from the Trojans' 44. The controversy was whether wide receiver Jackie Williams in fact made it into the end zone or not. Chris Blackshear, the Trojans sideline reporter, said what many people were thinking.
If they get this call right, we win this game. He caught the ball, but his butt was sitting down at the 1-yard line.
But the officials saw things differently. Even 2 years later, this play is still on players' minds.
That was a heartbreaker. You know, that was obviously didn't seem very fair from all the pictures, but, you know, what happened. We ended up going to a bowl game that year, so it worked out.
As far as how that last game went in 2010, we weren't happy with it. Pictures, video, you know, but what can you do? We can't referee.
If someone said that wasn't their thought and they want to move forward, I mean, obviously they're lying to you. But that's all in our heads. We know what happened. Then all we can do is just honestly move on.
We can't live in the past. Yeah. Man, we do. You know, it'll cost us. But you know, we're looking to the future.
Danielle Percival, Troy, TrojanVision Sports.
Kickoff for this year's game is set for 11 a.m. in Birmingham. And tune in to TrojanVision Nightly News tomorrow night as Danielle Percival gives you a full preview of this year's Trojan Blazer battle. So as you can see, Judson and Courtney, it's a jam-packed weekend for Trojan sports out there. Got volleyball and soccer, got some tournaments going on. The cross-country teams got their first run. And I know all us Trojan fans are ready for the redemption in Birmingham this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And any Trojan fans making their way up to Birmingham probably need to look at the weather, but thankfully, weather's coming up next. So, yeah, thanks a lot, Justin.
All right, thank y'all.
Coming up on TrojanVision Nightly News, Aaron Taylor gives us a look at different ways students get involved on campus.
But first, we've seen dark clouds but light rain throughout the day. Should this gloomy weather be sticking around for the weekend, Jamarlo?
Well, Justin, the light showers we've been seeing may stick around for the weekend, but I'll have more on that coming up next in weather.
Our national forests. We cherish their beauty. We marvel at their majesty. We embrace their heritage. But do you know how much we depend on our national forests? For clean air, wood for our homes, and drinking water for millions of Americans. So much depends on our national forests, but now they're depending on us. Trees have been devastated by insects, disease, and fires that burn so hot, even the seeds of future forests are destroyed. The Arbor Day Foundation asks for your help in replanting our national forests, because so much depends on what we do today. So much beauty, so much life, so much that we hold dear. We must act now so that future generations can also depend on our national forests. Visit arborday.org. See what we're doing. See how you can help.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
Jamarlo Phillips now joins us with a look at weather. So, Jamarlo, can we be expecting this rain to kind of stick around to our weekend and the beginning of next week?
Well, unfortunately so. We may be experiencing rain up maybe for the next 4 days, but I'll get into more of that right now. First, let's take a look at our campus snapshot. As we can see, very cloudy right now across Bibb Graves campus, across Troy right now, very cloudy. Going into our current conditions, we can see that the skies are mostly cloudy right now. Temperature coming in at 81 degrees, dew point 73, humidity 77%, barometer reading 30 inches and rising, winds coming from the south-southeast at about 10 miles per hour. As we look at today's stats, we were able to see a high today of 83 degrees, low of 74. Unfortunately, not too much of rain, 0.23 inches. Sun rose this morning at 6:17 a.m. and it's supposed to set at 7:10 p.m. As we take a look at temperatures from around the state, as we can see, Alabama is covered right now with mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures ranging from the mid-80s to the low 80s. Going into our current temperatures across the southeast right now, 81 in Birmingham, 87 down here in Jacksonville, 90 in Tampa, Florida right now, and 89 in Miami. And as we take a look at the west, we can see Louisiana, in the Louisiana area, 81 in Jackson right now, Shreveport 76, 75 in New Orleans. Very cool temperatures. That's because of Tropical Storm Isaac. Going to our current temperatures across the United States, we can see that in our area, temperatures are quite the same what we've been seeing. Current service map, we can see right here the eye of Tropical Storm Isaac right now is right here in the northern portion of Louisiana, but it's expected to move up northward into the Tennessee and the Kentucky areas. Going into a closer look at our current service map, again, taking a closer look at the eye of Tropical Storm Isaac, the patches of rain and gusts of wind, probably will move into our area where we may be experiencing rain maybe in the next 48 hours, maybe even for the next 3 days. And going into our departure from normal, we can see in the Louisiana right here, taking a closer look at this area because this is where Tropical Storm Isaac is set to place, 15 degrees cooler what they've been seeing in Louisiana right now. As we look at our precipitation forecast for our area, we'll be seeing under an inch of rain for the next 48 hours. Going into Friday, we'll be experiencing rain. Saturday, rain again. So unfortunately for those Trojan fans, make sure that you bring a light jacket and a light jacket with you. Going into Sunday, we'll still be experiencing rain, and on to Monday, rain will remain in our area. But take a look at tonight's forecast. We'll be seeing a low of 73 degrees, 90% chance of rain. Going into tomorrow's forecast, a 50% chance of rain. Winds coming from south-southeast at about 7 miles per hour with a high of 90. And taking a look at our 4-day forecast. As we go throughout the week, we will be seeing those chances of thunderstorms. So, Courtney, Justin, for the game this weekend, it seems as if the rain will be taking place. So, you know, we may have some Trojans who may be a little bit upset.
So bring an umbrella.
Right.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jamarlo.
Thank you.